Okay, so Halee and Lauren, I know both of you guys grew up with dads who played professional sports. Halee, your dad, Todd, was a pitcher with the Oakland Athletics and a few other teams after that. And Lauren, your dad, John, was a quarterback drafted by the Cincinnati Bengals. So I just have a couple questions for each of you about how that experience was growing up at a home with a dad as a professional athlete. So Halee, I guess just what was it like when you were growing up in that sort of household? And was your dad out of town a lot? How did that look like at your house?
So my dad actually retired in 2005. So I was, about 6 years old. And so I do remember I grew up in this area. Like I haven't ever really truly moved, but there are many times like when I was younger and I wasn't quite in school yet and everything that we were traveling and I did get to experience a lot of cities, not too much of, memory in that aspect, but I do, I always had a home and, here in Texas, but it was cool getting to grow up and travel and all that kind of stuff.
So I guess kind of off of that, as you were growing up, how much did he play into your decision to play volleyball at the collegiate level?
Honestly, volleyball was my decision. I mean, yes, like this household, like I have two younger brothers that both play sports. Like we're a very athletic family. But I think, at the end of the day, he always, it was my decision, if I wanted to play. And I just fell in love with the sport. And yes, he helped me definitely along the way, but I don't think he was ever forcing me to play anyway. I would just fell in love with the sport and he helped me tremendously. But it was, it was cool getting, having that inspiration too.
So Lauren, over to you. I know you're from California, so out of state as well, and you're there right now. So I guess, can you just kind of talk me through how you ended up in Nashville, how you chose Belmont, and how your parents kind of helped you through that process?
Yeah, I wanted to go out of state for college really bad. And when it came to volleyball, I was looking at schools where I could compete at a collegiate level. And Nashville just honestly came out of nowhere. Found Belmont when I was looking up colleges in the South that were like smaller. And I sent an email and it was like kind of everything happened in a trickling effect after that. And my parents were always supportive of me going out of state, which I think most parents have like freak out because their kids are going so far. But my family loves the city and it was all good.
So how much has he been able to come see you play in Nashville, or at least last season?
They came for, I think, three games. They came for opening weekend in August last year, and then they came up for like my birthday in October. But I think they're gonna try more next year. We'll see.
Gotcha. So Halee, I read that one of your favorite athletes is Derek Jeter, and I know your dad played baseball. So do you have any stories, even if it's not about Derek Jeter, but just of you and your dad growing up watching sports together, or any memories that stick out to you about that?
There's just a few memories. Not specifically with any athlete in general, but I recall like us being in a car together, and there's like certain songs that still to this day when they come on the radio that remind me of him and like being with him and, going to his practices, and I was always around for that. And so it was really cool. And so just there's certain memories like, if I hear certain songs that will for sure bring back all those memories and stuff. It's really cool.
So Lauren, with your dad being a professional athlete, like what was his advice to you when you told him, hey, I want to play collegiate volleyball, and what kind of lessons, I guess, has he kind of rolled over to you?
I think the biggest thing is work ethic, because I think college sports sometimes is fantasized a little bit, and you don't really get to see behind the closed doors of how athletes really live. And so when I decided to like really pursue volleyball in my high school years, it was like I had to come to an understanding like this is going to take work, and you have to put in additional hours on top of like basic practices and stuff like that. So I guess he kind of mentally prepared me for like the game at a college level, and kind of engraved the work ethic at a young age for me.
Yeah. So this kind of last question, I guess, kind of wraps it up, but it's to both of you. So whoever wants to answer first can take it. But Halee, your coach, Caitlin Harrison, described you last season as someone who they can rely on for 3 or more kills per game. And Lauren, your freshman year, you ranked 3rd on the team in digs per set. So obviously you guys are both extremely competitive and have a really tough mindset. How has your dad contributed to that mindset and just your mental toughness and competitiveness on the court?
I can go first, but for me, I think my dad has contributed to the most my mental side of the game. Whether I have a good game, a bad game, it's always, keeping my head on straight and like, what can I improve on? And I think, because he got drafted at such a young age that he had to be mentally strong and grow up really fast, and so he experienced that. And so he just has passed on to me, and like little lessons throughout that many people don't always get the chance to hear. And so a lot of it just mentally and being strong and going out and competing is what I've got a lot from him.
Yeah, I agree. And I think what I got from my dad is just like the love for sports and for competition. And I think I feel a different level of pressure when I go into a match, but it's good pressure because it shows you care, and it's a game that you represent not only the college, but you represent your family, the people that raised you and the people that trained you. Having my dad play college sports and professionally, he was often like a coach for me and my siblings.
Well, thank you guys both so much for your time and answering my questions. I'm Anna Glenn Grove, and I look forward to seeing you both play next season.
Thank you.
Yeah.